Actually, we are going to discuss this checklist. Okay, the one we generally use in our, regular projects. If we have any clients, those who requested for any sort of a scripts to be done. Okay, so and we will deliver the same. And after some time, I mean, like a month or after 2 months, they started facing some issues like the script won't work because there could be many reasons. Okay, so we will be cross check with this checklist. So whatever the script, like we have shared it to them, so we'll cross check again. We'll connect to the machine and we'll open this checklist aside, and then we will be cross checking that. Okay, is this fine? I mean, is the first step fine? Second step, third step. Okay, there are no invalid inputs. And the fourth one, yeah, there are no null values. And the fifth one, there are any data type assertions. Okay, like missing inputs, and are there any invalid outputs? Are there any deprecated nodes? Okay, so we'll check one by one and finally we'll fix the problem and we'll make them happy again. So this Dynamo checklist will help every person to understand more. This is sort of an advanced, okay, but this webinar I haven't taken, this kind of webinar I haven't taken before, because explaining this generally it happens only in my training, not in general, but we are discussing this. Okay, so let me prepare something. Meanwhile, even I'm expecting few more participants to join, so once they join we'll just move forward. Okay. um, there are no questions from you, anyone. If you guys have any questions, you can use a chat box. Clear, everyone? Clear, everyone? Anand,
Yes.
there is a master who joined, coding master. Okay, good. What's your name, coding master? Join with the name of coding master. What's your name? May I know your name? Hello.
Yeah.
Sorry, sorry. What's your name? Okay, fine. Start the recording. Okay. So myself, I'm Kumar, and I'm total having like 15 years of experience in this industry in BIM. And when it comes to the BIM automation, it's about to 7+. And we have created almost like, and this is my own company. It's BIM Era Private Limited. It is an automation company completely. Like we don't work on any Revit projects, nothing. We help uh, our vendors, our clients with by providing some automation tasks. Okay, like Dynamo API, so add-ins, so such kind of a stuff. Okay, I hope everyone can hear me, right? I hope everyone can hear me. Hmm? Am I clear? Okay, okay, cool. Because Pratik said he can't listen. So. Okay, so we have created almost like countless number of scripts, and the second one, like add-ons, we have a team to develop. We have a team almost like we used to have more before, like when the AI before the AI comes, like 4 years ago. But now the AI has changed everything. So we have reduced the manpower. Even most of the companies are doing the same. Okay, they're completely looking for automation solutions, and they stop hiring the people. Okay, and this is what happening in current trend. In future, automation gonna change everything. Like if how the company generally thinks. If there is a project, they are going to award it. I mean, they didn't get it anymore. The people started hiring. I mean, the company started hiring the people. Okay, whether they got it or not, but these guys have to be like, releasing the offer letters, and if they didn't get the project, putting them on bench, and after 3 months they are leaving them. This is what happening. Okay, this is what it used to happen initially, but not now. Okay. You see the Middle East and US, UK market now, there are no openings over there. Okay, so it's like they are outsourcing to the Indian company, and now the people who are in India, they're facing a lot of challenges because a person used to work on one project, but the same person who's working on 2 to 3 projects now. Okay, they used to have like Saturday, Sundays, but now it's only like Sunday, and sometimes even the management is pulling like the people on Sundays and working, make them working like anything, like a slaves. So then we have approached a lot of companies, introduced our, add-ins, okay, showcases, I mean, like showcased almost what does a automation do and what's the power of an automation. And we started, bringing our revenue into our company and as well as helping the clients as well. Okay, now, please speak a little bit loud. I mean, can you please increase the volume? I think I'm very close to my mic, Nanaji. Okay, I think it's very clear to everyone. I don't have an option to increase. I'm very close to mic actually. If you're more closer, you will get even hums and everything. Okay, so I mean, check whether speaker thing. Okay, clear. Is everyone? Is it fine with everyone or? Yeah, okay, fine. Thanks for confirming. Yeah, okay. So this is what the industry is happening. And you are here to understand what is a Dynamo, which is real and outdated tool. I'm not saying this is very advanced tool because this is most of the companies, the managers, the person who is very new to the Revit, even they're also handling the Dynamo scripts very easily. I mean, like we are an outsourcing company, we generally outsource the people to the companies. Okay, so when we have some interviews, okay, so most of the people are saying like, how many years of experience do you have? They say like 2 years. So how many years of experience do you have in Dynamo? 2 years. How come it is? Okay, so if there is a guy who is having like 3 years of experience, they're saying 1.5 year experience in the Dynamo, 2 years experience in Dynamo. How come it is? See, to understand a tool, it'll take almost like 1.5 year to 2 years for a person in depth. Okay, after that, he could able to fix everything manually. Then only he can understand the Dynamo stuff. You understand? At least you would have like minimum of, I mean, otherwise he can automate the tasks up to that extent, not in full. Okay. So after AI has come, it changed everything. Whether you have a 6 months of experience, you can automate a task which a BIM coordinator can't do it. A BIM manager having a problem sorting it out, the project standards. After AI, a modular who is having like a 6 months of experience, he can fix, I mean, he can act like a BIM manager. Do you believe that? Actually, yes. Because every single information would be stored in a model called AI model, artificial intelligence. So like it's an another brain. Okay, I hope you guys already heard about this before. That's the reason, I have asked in the WhatsApp group, like, do you have any ChatGPT account? Okay, and I mean, if you are aware of the ChatGPT and you're having some account, you would have tried that before and understood, like, why did he ask the question? Okay, well, anyways, so it's about to 8:30. I think it's time to start. Okay, because I don't want your introductions anymore. Even I have given my introduction. If you missed like my introduction before, I mean, if the people who joined now, so you can go through it. Oh, I can't share this on recorded, right? hmm Anyways, we'll try to share this recorded video. Okay, because this is very important concept. Okay, fine. So, how many of you have seen the checklist that I have recently attached on WhatsApp, the Dynamo checklist? How many of you have seen that? This one? Mm, this one. How many of you have seen this checklist? If you can't speak, you just use your chat box to reply yes or no. Simple. Hmm? Rahman. Okay. Rahman. Okay. Right. No. Pratik, no. Is it? No, I have posted this on WhatsApp group, and this is a mandate for every a person who wants to step their career into this automation. Understand? Okay, this one is really important, and we haven't shared this from past 4 years. It's been with us, like for our internal things, but we decided to share it to, release to everyone. So would have, everyone enjoy this checklist. Okay. So today we are going to discuss about this checklist, and I'm going to show you like what are the challenges a person who generally face if you are a beginner. If you are a beginner, okay. Meanwhile, if you have time to draft the questions, I do really suggest, help others to understand your struggles whenever you open a Dynamo. So what are the struggles you have faced? If you can write it in the chat box, I would have explained and others come to know everything. Okay, clear? So it's 30 seconds more. Shall we start? Or anyone have any questions before we start? Hmm? Shall we start? Okay. Okay, cool. Cool. Yes, yes. Let me see. 15 seconds more. As today is Sunday, that's the reason the people haven't joined. But the people who are requested for this demo, like there are almost like 95, but joined only 35. Hmm. Okay, no problem. Let them join. Okay, so let's start. Guys, as introduced myself already, like I'm Kumar, and I'm gonna be the tutor for like the Dynamo. Okay, after Dynamo, there is a concept called design scripting. After design scripting, there is a concept called Python. After Python, I mean Revit API, Python with Revit. Okay, it's Revit API with Python, we generally pronounce it as. Okay, and after Revit API with Python, Revit API with C Sharp, and C Sharp with AI. So I do teach all this in 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 our company. Okay, in this academy. It's a Bimmer Academy, and we do outsource the people who have trained from us. Okay, like we'll place them. Like we have provided almost like uh, trainings to 1,000 plus candidates, and placed just like 250 plus. Okay, and we still keep on placing them to different companies. Okay, and we have almost like 90 plus clients. We are trying to cross 100, been challenging from so many months, but still we're not able to cross the 100. Maybe mostly in 1 or 2 months we're gonna clear. And okay, and we are working as a hiring partner for all those clients, and we are providing automation solutions. Mostly if you are one of like a member or a colleague, I mean, or an employee of that companies, I hope you have seen our Dynamo steps executing in your companies. Okay, fine then. So even though I think you haven't seen this checklist before, because we generally don't share this checklist even to our clients also. But we recently published on LinkedIn for everyone's use case. Okay, for everyone's use, like we have shared this. Okay, so what does this checklist do? I mean, after posting this, I have questions. I have many questions from the people, like what I can do with this checklist, Ramesh. Everyone are new to here. Like you are 47 people. You're 47 people here. Everyone are new to this. Okay, everyone are new to this. Yeah, I just started now, Saikat. Don't worry. Okay, I just started now. Okay. So everyone are new to this checklist, and I mean, sorry, to the Dynamo, and they don't know anything. And few people say I don't have an experience on coding, Rajesh. A few people said I tried this, Rajesh, but I couldn't understand anything. And third, the category people I'm saying, I've been, trying to learn this tool from past 1 year, Rajesh, but still I'm not confident on writing a script. Okay, I don't understand what are the basic rules, the ground rules, the key concepts, the core idea, okay, the core knowledge you need before you learn something new. Understand? Okay, so I'm gonna reveal some of some of concepts out of the entire core ideas. Clear? So the first one, it's called data types. So what are this? I have mentioned on the left side like it's the concept and instructions for your understanding. Okay. So mismatched data types. Ensure the data types are compatible with between connected nodes. You don't understand anything. You can't understand what is this. If you are aware of something, then if I say something, then you would try to understand at least like 50% or 30% or 10%. If it's very new to you, then you cannot. Okay. Let me show you something on live. Um, so someone in a WhatsApp group have asked this. Okay, keep it aside. No problem. So there are data types, guys. Okay, before you start your journey, so I want you to understand because we are talking to an application. So we are talking to an application. We are talking to a language. So you must know that language before. Okay, so that to understand that language, you don't have to open on a book and learn 30 days, program, nothing. It's a very basic. You can able to understand this concept in just matter of 5 minutes, just matter of 5 minutes. Okay, but I took like 2 hours to explain this concept. I generally take like, 2 hours to explain only the data types concept. Seriously. Why, Rajesh, you told me like you can explain, you can learn this. I mean, you said like we can learn this in 5 minutes. Why are you taking 2 hours? With detailed explanations, because by giving more examples, if you're like generally we have 20 to 30 students in a batch, and of course it is after office hours, so they'll have some confused mind or the disturbed mind. So if I teach the same concept in 5 minutes, maybe they can't understand. So first I have to grab their attention, and then I have to explain this, and it will take some time. And checking with everyone, it will take some time again. Okay. So there are data types: integer, double, string, boolean, null. Okay. What do I do with this data types, Rajesh? How do I understand? Can you correlate the data types with the Dynamo? I'm going to show you. So there are basic nodes here. This is a node library. Okay, so we find a lot of nodes here. If you don't know what is a node, then it's like a block. So the block contains some actions in it. So you have to, for example, you have like you have a robot, like you have a remote car. So remote car have a chip, and it is, I mean, it has already written with some sort of functions. So whenever you add some inputs to it, like tell me what is the input for this remote car? Just give a guess. What would be the inputs for this remote car? For a remote car, what would be the inputs? Start and stop? No, generally, don't we just don't discuss, and very good. Start, stop, left, right. Yeah, these are the functions. So these are the functions. I'm talking about inputs. Hmm? Batteries. Batteries. Okay. It's very simple answer. It's a batteries. Okay. So when you connect the batteries to it, it started working. So for this to play with this action, I need one single battery. Okay. To play with this, I need two batteries. To play with this, I need two batteries. To play with this, to make this function active, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, maybe five batteries, three or something else. Do you understand? Okay. So they are like inputs. So when I hover the cursor on this, so it is clearly saying that what you have to be connected with. So it is saying Unix time is a number of seconds since 1st January 1970. If you don't understand the text, ignore. The second one, it is saying it's int, integer. So that's a part of a data type. Say there is an int. Okay. So whenever I hover the cursor on this, it is saying VAR. It's saying it's a VAR. Okay, so VAR is a another set of a data type. So when I hover the cursor on this, that is expecting read dot elements dot element. Read dot elements dot element. When I hover the cursor on this, it is expecting string. It is expecting a string. When I hover the cursor on this, that is expecting a color. This is expecting a color. Okay. So when I hover the cursor on this, that is expecting VR. Okay, when I hover the cursor on this, that is expecting a VR. VR. See, it's not there for every input. It's not there. Here it is saying it is expecting like a Boolean. Okay, so these are called data types. So when you have placed a node, you have to understand the inputs. If you can't understand the inputs, you cannot connect what it is really expecting. If you connect the wrong one, what happens? I'm gonna explain you now in a couple of minutes. Okay. So the first one, it's a data type. So the same thing I have mentioned here in the checklist. So I mean, like you have to understand, ensure the data types are compatible with between connector nodes. Because generally we share this with if we share with this with anyone, the script. So even the person should have the same idea what it is expecting and what I have connected. So what I have to connect and whether it's working or not. So it is expecting something you have connected. If something went wrong, then how do you fix it up? Okay, there are. Okay, so mismatched data types use type specific nodes. What do you mean by type specific? Integer is a type, double is a type, string is a type, boolean is a type. There are different types. Okay, apart from that, for this application, there are different types. It's called Revit data types. Revit data types are nothing but like a wall. For example, select model element. Let me select a wall. I'll just go back and I'll see. Let me run. So it's saying it's like select model element. Uh-huh. I think, are there any warning setup notes? Let me reopen this again. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'll do one thing. I'll just copy this. I'll just copy this concept. Control Z, Control N. I'll just execute this. Okay. It's saying it's like a wall. See, repeat dot elements dot wall. Okay, cool. So you have to consider the last one. What is it is exact? What is that exactly? Okay. So let me select some other. Let me select some other. I'll just select this time a duct. Okay, now let's try to understand. It's not always the same as you see. So when I connect this to this, now it's not saying it's like a duct. It is saying it's an unknown element. It's saying unknown element. So you have to check the type specific data types. So that's what I have mentioned over there. Okay, if the user is playing with a wall, then you can understand. Not only you, anyone can understand easily. So what kind of data type it is. But you, while using the type specific data type, you will be facing some sort of challenges. Understand what data type it is. So that's what I mentioned over there. Invalid inputs in null values and data type positions. So invalid inputs in the sense this is expecting something. This is expecting something. For example, um, what is this expecting? Unix time. That is expecting the time. So I have a node called date time dot now. So even this is also expecting date time and this is also expecting time. So this is returning your time and this is expecting the time. What if I connect this to this? A warning again. Incorrect data types. Most of the people got confused what to connect. Really. Okay, what to connect exactly? They will be facing the challenges. Okay, is it clear? So, what is the solution for this? Understand the data. When I hold the cursor on this, check what it is expecting. It is expecting an integer. What is an integer, Rajesh? You keep on saying integer, double. What are all this? We will be coming to learn all this in the training program because it takes almost 2 hours. I mean, I took almost I'll take almost like 6 hours to 6 to 8 hours to finish only this concept. Okay. So it is expecting integer. So I have to connect a number. So what if I connect a number 916056 something, some any other number? So when I connect this to this, it started working. It started working. See, that is expecting Unix time. You have connected the time. It is expecting time and you connected the time. It got warning. Do you understand? So you have to understand what it is exactly expecting. For example, there are like categories, and all elements of category. Now, I have a category, let's say ducks. I have a category, and this is expecting it as the same. All elements of particular category. So category and category, both are matching. This should match exactly. This should match exactly to make it execute. Okay. So when I connect this to this, yeah, this is expecting category and I have connected the category and it is given there are total all elements. So total 724 elements in the entire model of particular category has printed out here. So if this is working fine, then why did it work? That is a trick. If you understand the data type, you will never do this. You will never do this. Understand? So that's the first step in this checklist. You have to understand what it is expecting. Okay. Now, anatomy of a particular node. What do you mean by anatomy of a node? Generally, like a doctor's or like, um, there are a few more people who test. Like, for example, let's consider the doctors. If they want to see in the biology, like sessions or somewhere, like they'll cut a reptile. They'll cut the reptile and they'll see, I mean, they'll just cut the lizard. They'll just cut, cockroach, and they'll see what is exactly functioning, what it exactly returns at they'll check and they'll stitch it back again. So they can see how each and every organ is working. So even I want you to act like a doctor. to see the anatomy of a particular node. In this, there is an important concept, concept called documentation. Documentation. Refer to the node documentation for correct users. If you want to if you want to read the documentation clearly, so you should know, like where is it, and it's not in one common place. For a node, the documentation would be from different places. At least for now, I'll show you some, like how do you read the how do you read a document? Okay, then you can understand, okay, whether you are using it correctly or not. Okay, so the documentation, missing inputs. If any node is expecting like three inputs, you have to connect the three inputs. You have to check whether there are all the three. If there is a node which is expecting like three inputs, you have to see, all the three inputs are connected or not. Only, then you realize, oh no, Rajesh, it's connected only to. Okay, that's the reason it's not working. That is the reason it isn't working. Okay, so if one is connected and two are left to be connected with by the user, so that's the reason the node isn't working. Clear? So missing inputs. Ensure all the required inputs are connected or not. Ensure all the required inputs are connected or not. Okay, for an example, um, let me close this. So anatomy of a node. Okay. So here I have given some sort of an examples for the documentation. So color dot brightness, element dot get parameter value by name. No, for example, I want to apply some color, Rajesh. So how do I do that? Right click on this, right click on any node. Okay. Right click on node and just click on help. Click on help. Then you will be coming to see the documentation part. If you have noticed this, there is a browser called documentation browser. So in this, there is some information for your understanding how to use it. Okay. So dscode.color.add. But here I can see only color.add. But what is this dscode.color.add? Copy, and I'll show that later. Okay, this is called dot notation concept. I'll explain you later. So dscode.color.add. Color.add is the node name. Okay. So description, construct a color by combining the ARGB values of two existing colors. Okay, fine. Add will return a vector that is the sum of the two other vectors. Don't understand anything? Ignore it. Let's see. I'll zoom in this here. While I'm zooming that, there is a color.add and it shows the inputs what the user have connected. It's not you. Somebody have connected and sent a screenshot here. Attached a screenshot. So, okay, so if you want to play with the color, so that is expecting, if you notice that clearly, so color and it's a color. Cuboid, it is a geometry. Even that is also expecting like a geometry. So color with a color with a color. Okay, so color with a color. So exactly whatever the input is expecting, for this is an input, this is an output. This is an output and this is an input. Input and output. Input and output. Do you understand? The one, if I cut this into the two parts, the right hand side they're called outputs of every node, and the left hand side they're called an inputs of every node. Okay. So the user is expecting some inputs to be connected, and we have connected the same. If you don't know what to connect, read the documentation. Read the documentation. And if I scroll down, inputs, it is having like a two inputs, everyone. Okay, so the first one, it has to be added, and the other color to add. So color, other color. color, other color. There are no default values assigned default. Okay. So outputs. Apart from this, I don't have any other documentation. Apart from this, there is no other documentation, but you can see the different kind of a documentation in a different areas. So that you will be coming to know in a training program. Okay. Let's say color brightness. No, let me go with get parameter value by name. And let's say help again. See, you don't have the such screenshot here. Arey, Rajesh told me in the webinar, like when we just right click and just click on help. So it shows a document process so that I can understand what has to be connected. But for this, no. But for this, there is nothing like that. And the description is also not clear, that much clear exactly again. So where I can, this comes with the practice or else someone should guide you very clearly with the clear instructions. And trust me, I'm a, I'm having like good patience to understand, to listen to your queries and clear your doubts during the training program. Till I mean, generally we have a 8:30 to 10:30 is a training program every day in the evening. Okay, so even though if it crosses like 10:30, I'll stay. 11, I'll stay. 11:30, I'll stay. 12, till you understand the concept, I'll stay, and then I'll clear your doubts with a clean, happy face. Do you understand? That's how the training is. If you want to go through with our reviews, I'll show you what are the reviews from the current batch. Let me show you from the current batch. That's it. If you simply type like Bimera reviews, you can see the reviews, the newest. Like they are from I mean, this girl is from like the current batch. Okay, yeah, see what she said exactly. So firstly, I felt very tough to learn, but now I'm thinking after joining the class at Suvamin, it's very easy. The way I explained, she was very scared at the time of while she joined. Now she can handle uh, most of the things. Do you understand? Okay. So trust me, these are the reviews from the current batch. Okay. The training is not yet over. So I requested few people to share their feedback. And after you see like the training finish, you'll see almost like 20, 30 reviews. Yeah. Okay. So that's how it is. Okay. Until unless you understand the concept, I don't leave you at all because I want you to place in a very good positions with the best package, not like 5%, 10% hikes. It should be minimum like 40 to 70% hike for sure. I'm not joking, and I'm not a uh, since I'm in the same field, I know a person who changed his platform from this to that. Okay. And you can ask me what about my experience, then your experience remains same. The companies will respect that the same, and they're going to provide you the hike on what you are exactly earning. Okay. After you change your after already like, yeah, very good, that's a good, fine, then it's not for you, Saikat. Okay. So if you're already in such a positions, then ignore it. Okay. The people who are earning very less, and when I want to get better package. Okay, then you just come and try her. Okay, fine. So the people who are already having some experience, like 1 year, 2 years of experience, even though they look something new in our training, because if you already have a self-learning experience on Dynamo, you will see something new in my training from the day one itself. From the day one itself, because the way I teach you the concepts that you haven't seen anywhere. That's the reason I generally don't publish the training program content on Google or on LinkedIn anywhere else. Okay, fine. Anyways, we don't have time. Let me finish this. Okay, so this is called the documentation part. What if, let me see, can I see geometry like point, let me play with by coordinates. by coordinates. I have placed a note, right click, and when I just click on help, I may see some documentation, but again, see, so documentation is very important. The documentation part is very important. Okay, so don't forget this. Okay, clear? So let me go with the next one. Documentation. Review the node configuration. Like you have to inspect node settings. So what do you mean by node settings for appropriate configurations? What do you mean by inspect? Inspect in the sense which shows you the backend, guys. Which shows you the backend. Let me show you something funny. Okay, for example, I'm having a browser. I'll just open a Google and I'll type, mm, let's say my website only, bimera.com, bimera.com. Okay, I have built a website here. So I want to see the code because this kind of actions are a bit cool. So I would like to right click and there is an option called inspect. So when I just click on inspect, I can see the code behind that. I can see the code behind that. Okay. So when I right click and then saying inspect, so okay, there is a content related to it. So width and height, right click, edit as HTML. I can see the code something here. I can see the code. Okay. Article. Okay, so where I can see, if I scroll down, if I scroll down this, there are a lot actually here. Yeah. So do you see this code? Do you see this code? So I want to see the same code like for my node. What is the difference between the web browser and the Dynamo, Rajesh? Why did you show this? Because Dynamo is a browser like a Chrome. I hope you, I hope you don't aware of this. Most of the people doesn't know. The Dynamo is like a Chrome browser, like like Microsoft Internet Explorer, Microsoft Edge. Even Dynamo is a browser. That's the reason we called it as a web friendly. Understand? Okay. So I want to inspect the node and see the appropriate configurations. Is it? Can I see that? Can you show me inspect? And here it is. I've made that inspect for you. So if you would like to see the code behind that and the functions behind it, then here it is. Anatomy of a node. If you understand 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, for this node, there are 12 things. For most of the nodes, the same 12 things only. But actually, there are 15 plus. Okay, we'll see that later. I mean, out of this, we have few more. So, if you have got a good experience, good knowledge on playing with all these aspects, then you are a professional. And trust me, if you are bad in at least like one, you are good in everything, but you don't understand the levels. You are a zero. Your knowledge doesn't matter when it comes to automation. Like you should be good in everything, at least, or at least doesn't need like 100% knowledge. Like you know how to handle this like 30%. You know how to handle the understand like 30%. So I'm very good in understanding the output like 70%. So I know how to play with the options, but this is a bit complicated. So I understand only 20%. So I'm very good at understanding like 100% and 100%. So I'm okay, that's fine. So description, understand this like 40%. You are okay, but you don't know anything about like you are a 0%. So you are fail. You can't move forward to the continuation. You can't move forward to continue the script, like further. Seriously, I'm not joking. Okay. So I want you to be good in at least like be good and understand at least like 30%. Then what about the rest of the 70%, Rajesh? I'm gonna hire you an assistant for you. I'm gonna give you an assistant for you after the training. That assistant name is ChatGPT. Everyone are getting their own assistants. It's ChatGPT. It's a ChatGPT. You can say me, why you are giving me, man? I'm already having an account. So why you are giving me? Prompting is very important. I'm gonna guide you like how to use the ChatGPT exactly. What do you mean by exactly? So there is a, let me show something. Just a second. Let me open the document I have closed by mistake. Say that somewhere, no. Hmm. So generally, these are, I mean, if you are having like a ChatGPT accounts, you are using like this. So asking ambiguous questions like, what's the best way to improve my business? So the way you ask, can you write a Dynamo script to get the clashes? This is not the way you're supposed to ask. This is not the way you're supposed to ask. You have to ask it very clearly. Act as a Dynamo developer. I'm having a list of elements. The first element type, it is a wall, and I'm having a list of elements. The type is the cable trace. Third point, I want you to create a clash report and to extract the element IDs. Third step is done. The fourth step, I'm having the list of elements, the element IDs that you have extracted, convert that into the elements and isolate those elements in a particular view. Fifth point, I am specifying the view name, say colon, and that's a view name there. Done. So the way you ask initially, it's a very basic. The way you ask, it gives you it gives you the accurate result. You understand? There is a difference. So you guys are playing with a poor prompts because I've heard from many webinars after the webinars, the people text me, Rajesh, I'm a ChatGPT user since it's there, it has introduced. I'm a ChatGPT user. Always when I'm trying to ask something, it's giving me the wrong results. There no way it's giving like 100% output. Like in very rare case, I'm getting the right things. It's like if I compare, like it's a 10%. If you ask something in a wrong way, you can't get it in the same. Do you understand? So you must ask it's in a very clear way. For that sake, we have created the prompts for our students. You are going to get this, the prompts after a training. Okay, we have created almost like how many pages? It is 16 pages. This is the old one. We have a new one actually having more prompts on it. Okay. So what is this prompt, Rajesh? Act as a Revit Dynamo developer. Explain the below exercise. Let me copy this. Okay. And I'll just copy here. This assistant is really important for you to write, automate a script in just matter of 15 to 30 minutes. But if you're poor in logic and if you're poor in coding, so you must need an assistant who is very good in it. And when you compare the intelligence of an AI, we can't beat. Seriously, a human can't beat. So control V. Okay, I'm done. Now copy paste your task here. So you will be doing the same. Okay, so copy paste your task question here. I'll just go to my prompts again, ChatGPT prompts, create a script to extract all the room data from a Revit file. Control C. I'll just copy paste here. So I don't want a script. I'll just create a Dynamo graph. I'll call this as a Dynamo graph because this is an old one. So Revit Dynamo, not a developer, is an expert. Okay. So act as a Revit Dynamo expert. Explain the below exercise. So create a Dynamo graph to extract all the room data from a Revit file. How do I? List me out all the nodes used to create this Dynamo graph. Explain me the nodes, output, output nodes, input nodes, capital I. Let me look at, and function and logic as well. Let me hit enter. And I'm using ChatGPT 4, not 3.5. Okay. So it's thinking, it's analyzing, and it's creating a graph. The primary goal of this Dynamo script is to extract the room data, which may include the room names, number, area, volume, and any custom parameters you have added to your rooms in Revit. The extracted data can be organized into a list or exported to an external file format like Excel or for further analysis or reporting. See how easy it is. And it's giving you, it's very clearly categories. This node selects the category of elements to work with. In this case, you would choose the rooms category. So in the category, you have to choose the rooms. The one in the Dynamo, just like few minutes before, like I have shown you that here, like categories, somewhere here, no? Is it in a previous one? Okay, I think I have closed. No, that's fine. In the categories, there is a drop down list and choose the rooms out of there. So input, you manually select rooms from the drop down. See, it's very clear. And this is what you need exactly. I don't want you to confuse with, I don't want you to confuse with the text generated with the ChatGPT. If I don't ask the question properly, if I don't ask the question properly, you won't get the same result. The result would be something else. So next one is all elements of category. After that, I'm gonna use like element or get parameter value by name. After that, I'll create a list and I'll connect whatever I want. Very simple. And inputs. So get parameter value by name if I need a name, or if I need a number, or if I need a area. So I can create a multiple. That's what it's saying. Retrieve specific room database on the parameter name, and it'll list you out everything. And then go and ask the same in your ChatGPT, then with your own language. No, you can't get this kind of a. So that's the power of prompting. There is a concept called prompt engineering. So you will be coming to learn how it has to be exactly asked, everything. So that's make you more easy to start with. And if you don't stuck anywhere, you feel confident. Once you have the confidence, you start loving it. So once you started loving, you keep on creating the scripts for even basic thing. So when you are keep on placing, like you would like to explore a lot, or else you would like to promote yourself and posting on LinkedIn, so that brings you good name and fame. You understand? Okay. So if any companies notice that this guy is doing such kind of an activities, I need this guy. From my personal experience, I haven't applied for any positions. Uh, I mean, the opportunities come through a LinkedIn. If you have seen my, if you have seen my CV on which is attached on my LinkedIn, I've changed like 6 companies in 4 years, and I'll be keep on like active on a LinkedIn, because I don't want you to be there on the Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. Nothing. LinkedIn is a professional, this, so the media. So if you've been active there in it, you will get better opportunities. And if you're promoting yourself, you will be getting. Understand? Okay. So let me understand anatomy. Now, if I ask ChatGPT, Mr. ChatGPT, I'm having some concept like this description. Can you explain the description? Can you explain the data types and default value, node name, object dot function, and output options, leasing and shortest? I mean, whether it is in longest or shortest. So for this particular node, then then it will give you the detailed explanation. Even if you have to do research and development, if you do some R&D by your own, it will take a lot of days, maybe years also, to extract the clear knowledge. But a ChatGPT will give you the same in just seconds. That's the reason I'm telling you I'm gonna hire an assistant with you. I mean, for free. Okay, understand? If you want to pay it 1,700 per month, and you can use it. Okay, so like use, yeah, Francis, it will help you like anything. Okay, and the one today someone asked me, I think, who is that? Mm, Jilan, is that guy here? Jilan, are you here? Jilan, are you here? Jilan is he is here. Let me show you something. Okay, I have asked ChatGPT to do that. I've asked ChatGPT to do that. Okay, I have asked because I don't have a time. So, uh, see, I'll just ask you the same thing. So, I'll ask very clearly. So, see, I have written some sort of a code, and have asked to fix it. So, we don't actually need. So, when it has given me the code. It has given me the code. So, what this code generally do? It will figure it out the clashes between the cable trays and the walls, and it will separate only the list. Let me show you the magic. Okay, so I'm just showing you the power of ChatGPT. So I'll write a Python script. I'll just paste a Python script, not only the Dynamo thing, but you should know like how to ask it, and you should know like from where it has to be copied. Yeah, I think I can copy the complete. Control A, Control V. I just pressed and just click on run, and let's just save it. Oh, you. Okay, fine. So let me control C. No, new, paste it. Just a second. Uh, I'm in a session. Thank you. Uh, Let me open this. Yeah, it's there. No, let me draw a wall. I'm having like a wall here. So far, I don't have any clash. I don't see any clashes here. Empty list. There are no walls. There are no cable trays. What? I mean, there are no clashes. But whenever I draw a cable tray, I just set this, and that's not hitting actually. Let me set the value to 0. Then I think I can see somewhere. Yeah. So there is a clash now. If I go and say read this, let's see. Let me connect, remove this. Now I can see that. So a wall and another cable tray. See, I mean, instantly it'll give you. And if I would like to assign any changes, I mean, if I add any functions, you can do that quickly. Let me try one more again. If you draw the cable tray, yes, I'll just create a one more cable tray next to it. Now, by adding minus and C, now there is only one wall. There is only one wall, and there are two cable trays hitting with the same wall. You see that? Instantly. I didn't do anything. I haven't written the code. The chat GPT has write the code for me like quickly. Do you understand? That's the power of chat GPT. Okay. So uh, you can write a Dynamo code, Dynamo script. You can write a Python code. I mean, if you can ask, like to write, a C sharp code, it will write it even for the C sharp code as well. Okay. But the way you should ask very clearly, otherwise it will give you a different, okay, it will show you the different directions. But if you know on which direction you're supposed to go with, very simple. So that's why I'm here to, move your career in a proper direction. Because most of the learning is not that easy thing, guys. Some people kill almost like years and and they decided, "Arey, forget about this. Let me be as a modeler. Let me be as a coordinator. Why should I? I'm not able to. I'm trying to step into that position, but still I can't understand anything. They're wasting their time. The way, see, I'm having many years of experience in coding, in the visual coding, and into the AI as well. I'm a tutor for to teach this like AI to the students like who done their computer science in the degree. Okay, for them we teach like a prompt engineering, and we're helping them to place into the companies. So, anyways, that's a different story. So, if you have a tutor like me, okay, so you will no, I will never go to stuck anywhere for sure, and it's my promise. You understand? Okay. So learn it very, from the scratch. You don't need to know even ABCDs of a coding. Come and join. I'll start it from the ABCD. I'll start from the ABCD and make you expect to read a code, to understand a code, to draft a code within no time. I don't suggest you to even write a code as well. I'll teach you how to ask your assistant to write a code for you. If it gives you, I mean, if there are minor bugs, like one or two, three bugs, I'll show you, I'll explain you how to find out the bugs and fix it out. That's it. Okay, fine. So let's see the anatomy. Okay, in main, there are few things. If you understand all this anatomy, you are a super machine. Seriously, I'm not joking. Okay, so the first one, you have to understand what the inputs are expecting. So input one and input two. Okay, so there are two inputs to be connected. So I have to connect one input. So when I hover the cursor, it is saying rivet dot elements dot element. Bit confused. What is this rivet dot elements dot element? I don't know because I don't understand this terminology, Rajesh. Go and ask your assistant. But how? The way I explain you. So if you ask the same way, then it will give you, oh, okay, then you understand. Okay, is that asking that? No, I understand, Rajesh. Thank you. So come and connect this. This is the way. Do you understand? Okay. So second thing, like a parameter name. I don't know what is a parameter name, Rajesh. Array, you're a modeler. So don't you know like what is the parameter name? So these are the parameter names. These are the parameter values. The left hand side will call as parameter names, and right hand side will call as a parameter value. And these parameter values have different data types. If you understand those, what it is exactly, then you can fix it out very clearly. Then you can fix it. Then you can fix anything. Understand? Okay. So that's what it is expecting. I mean, what is it trying to do? First, when I hold the cursor on this, get the value of the one of the elements parameters. Oh, if I connect an element and connect a parameter name, it will get the value of the particular parameter. Very simple. It's very simple to understand. Okay. So if you connect an element, how to connect? Which node I have to be used. Use the documentation. Let me right click and see the help. It will show you the documentation. If it's not showing, just come and ask the ChatGPT. I'm having a node which is called element.get parameter value by name, and it is expecting element. It is expecting element. So it is, and the one which is showing like rivet.elements.element. And when I hover, I mean the next line, the description you have to write in the chat GPT. I mean, in a very worst case. I mean, only this happens only when you're in the beginning. But once you are being friendly with the basic terminology, you will never use chat GPT. Seriously. I, I- but I have to say that you will be using like a chat GPT, but you will be generally not. The way I feed the concepts, there are spoon feeding. There are no other word, such a beautiful word than like mother feed, like a spoon feed. Simple, both are same. Understand? Okay. So the way I feed you, which is a very well detailed, very well detailed. If you keep on asking me, keep on irritating me, see the child was like, what is that? Why that bird has two feathers? why that bird has that only two wings and number of feathers, how many feathers would be there, so why the feathers are in different colors, so why the bird is not able to fly in this height, the way they ask. Even when it comes to the node, you will be having a lot of questions for different set of, and I have a patience to answer everything. If you ask one time, I'll two time, I'll three time, fourth time I'll kill you. Okay, I'm just kidding. Okay, generally you won't ask for the fourth time. Okay, so that is the way. If you don't understand a concept for the first time, I'll give you the second example. Still don't understand, third example. Okay, don't worry about that. Okay, fine. So this training is going to started very soon. We have expected this is supposed to be started from tomorrow. Maybe there will be a delay for like 1 or 2 days. Okay, so if you wish to enroll for this batch, we have only 6 seats left. Please come and enroll as soon as possible. Okay, otherwise you have to, I think I have sent you the trainer schedule. I will not be available for next 2 to 3 months. I'm sure, because for a like meeting, like I'm traveling to a different country, so I may not be available for 2 to 3 months. Okay. So, anyways, so inputs, okay, and the node name element dot get parameter value by name. So read the description here and a node name and what is the function name. Object dot function name. What is this object dot function name, Rajesh? I've cut this and I've seen everything, but I don't understand what is the object. If I am playing with an element, element is going to be object and function name, what you're trying to do with it. I'm having an element and what I'm trying to do with it. Object dot function name. Now, if I want to play with, let's say control F. Oh, if I want to play with like template, let me write template and put a dot next to it. Then it will give him collect dot view templates. Oh, it will collect all the templates for you. So when I hover the cursor, it is showing you the description. This documentation browser is different than the one you have when installed in your machine. Both are completely different, guys. Okay, it's not the same. I'm going to share this extension with you. Okay, so color dot view templates. Okay, views dot apply view template by name. So when I just click on this, see views dot apply template by name. So views is the object. Views is the object and apply template by name. It's this is like this is like a function name. This one, I'm sorry. This one, object and function name. If I want to play with, if I want to play with the work sets, I'll just type work set, put a dot next to it. Then see collect a dot work sets, elements dot set work set, elements dot. What are all these dots? What are all those dots? So you will be, I mean, if I want to play with a point, so I'll just type point dot. If I want to play with a list, I'll type list dot. If I want to play with an elements, see the drop down, like how many nodes that you have, how many nodes that you have. I'm going to share you all those nodes with you. You don't install anything. Okay. So we are going to be on track, like with the trainer, Okay. So yeah, what else? Point dot. Okay, and element dot. Put a type element dot. See now that this drop down list. So it's more smaller. Okay, so these many nodes that we have, we can play with an elements. They're not like one or two or three simple tasks we can automate. You can automate anything. You have to check, you can isolate the elements, you can group the elements, you can delete the elements, you can find which, I mean, for example, if there are any elements, generally what happen, architects keep on moving the ceilings and keep move on moving the walls from the previous positions, and they don't even inform us. Okay, in such cases, you have to find out what do you say, orphan elements. You have to find the orphan elements. You understand, or else if any ceilings are very uh, these this diffusers, lighting fixtures, smoke detectors are placing on the, I mean, are in the air now. So you have to find out the closest level, closest. ceiling to it, and it has to automatically attach. So to find out a BIM modeler will kill, I mean, if it's a 5 floors project, 10 floors project, we can't say. I used to waste like 1 week of company's time. If you're a manager, will you allow the same thing to do it by your team? If you're acting as a coordinator, so will you allow your team to do this? You are a coordinator. You have to take that as a challenge and, train your modelers. Get a grip, get a good command on your modelers. If you're a modeler, just get equal, try to equal to the coordinator. If a coordinator is I mean, the coordinator doesn't know, because most of the people don't want to upgrade themselves. Seriously, you upgrade and teach your coordinator. Just give them tasks to do. I mean, I have done this. If you still want to check, go and use my script. If there are any, if you still found something, then come and ask me. Very simple. Do you understand? So take this. I mean, now, it has not even taken like 4 to 5 years to transform the CAD people into the BIM people. Now, no companies are working on CAD. The people who haven't upgraded themselves from the CAD to Revit, now they are working as a draftsman, and they are learning. After 5, 6 years, they realized, and now they are learning the Revit now. Do you understand? I have a team. Like, I generally don't teach the Revit for the people who are engineers. Okay, because I do suggest to go with an offline training, because it's a career. But when it comes to the upskilling part, it's like they are a working professional. For them, upskilling, it's mandate to go with an online only, not instead of an offline. Okay, so they are having like 15 years of experience on the CAD. What are they doing so far? They could join somewhere, no? At the same time, when the people are like migrated, correct? So don't secure yourself by upskilling and be advanced with the current technology. Do you understand? AI is really cool. And the way I teach, you can't get, you know, only to teach the prompt engineering, the people charge almost like 40,000 outside, and it is just like a 6 hours course. Not like 6 to 15 hours course it is. Seriously, I have paid the same like 4 years ago. It was seriously. I'm the patient for a doctor. You understand? Now I'm a doctor, and I'm offering the same training for free of cost, including in this prompt engineering. Do you understand? Okay. So good in come and uh, learn this tools with the AI knowledge, with the AI. It really fantastic. You don't, I mean, it makes your journey very smooth. Okay. So output, you have to understand. You have connected the inputs, one and second one. And when I see the output, this is not the output which I'm expecting. I'm expecting something else. But why it is giving me the different? How can I change it? That's the challenge. So you have to find out the connecting nodes, the connecting nodes to this. How do you find out the connecting nodes to it? So that comes under node finding. That comes under the node finding. Okay, the first challenge actually is finding out the node. Because if you know there are such nodes, there are few nodes which helps you to automate something, then you can struggle with connecting the inputs. But if you don't know how to find a node, it's really stupid. Okay, so there is a concept. This concept will be explained in again like a 2 hours. Generally, I've seen some courses out which are available on market. They're saying learn Dynamo in 2 hours, learn Dynamo in 3 hours. Are idiot? I am explaining this complete concept, one single concept, for 2 hours. So how can you teach? This is what I feel generally. Like when I see like for the first time, like say no, very very tough, because it is not a tool to understand. It's not like a Revit. If you want me to teach a Revit in just 2 to 3 hours, I can. But if you ask me to teach a Dynamo for 2 to 3 hours, no, I cannot. Seriously, I cannot. Do you understand? Okay, so node finding is a concept to find a nodes. Only this concept itself will took like 2 hours. So our training program is like a 60 hours. 60 hours. Do you know that? And it'll take almost like 30 days plus, more than 30 days. Do you understand? So I need your like presence and most of your sessions. If you can't, or if you join from the different countries, you can go through with the recorded and come and ask your questions on. If you can simply ask your questions on WhatsApp, and I'll respond to it uh, the same. Okay. So node finding element of get parameter variable name. This is an object, and the second one is in a subject. Subject function name, whatever, both are same. Create sheets. So now to create the sheets, I'm having, okay, it is expecting like a sheet name. Yeah, it is expecting like a sheet number, and it is expecting like a title block. So you should know like how to connect this. But there are no such documentation, right click. Just click on help. See, you don't have this documentation. I mean, there is no proper type explained. There is no default value. There is no proper description to be connected. How do you understand and connect it accordingly? Hmm? Correct. So in such cases, our training will help you the same. Levels dot create. Okay. So this guy is trying to create a levels. So I want to play with the levels and the function is create. Okay. So then you understand, okay, this guy is trying to create a levels. Spaces dot create type. Okay. I want to create the spaces with multiple types. Like they are going to create a types. Okay, create a tag. Oh my goodness, what is a tag? So if you have a view and if you know the elements and if you know the tag location where it has to be placed, I mean, tag location in the sense, very easy. Don't get confused. If this is an element, I want to place a tag. So either this side or this side. You see, either in horizontal, I mean, in this side or vertical. So this side. Do you want me to add a leader? Leader in the sense like the leader one. So they're like a leader. Okay. Do you want to link instance? What is this? We'll be coming to know that later. Run it. So do you want me to run this? Okay. Tag type. Which type that you need? This or the one which is having more information in this and the tag location where the point is. So you will be extracting the points from the element. This is my element and this is the point. So from this point, I want you to take like 300 mm horizontal or else 300 mm in the top and place it. Very simple. It's up. So do you want to create a tag? Let me erase all the drawings. Viewports dot create by point. Oh, if I have a number of views and I know the number of sheets, I mean on which sheets I want to place, and if I connect the views and on the particular points, it will place the particular viewports. Simple. Worksets dot create. I have a list of worksets and the names, and I want you to create. I have a number of, I mean, I have some list of workset names and I want you to create the worksets. Views.create dependents. If I connect a view and the dependent names, it will create that many dependents with the given names on the particular view. Simple. So line style.create. If I want to create a number of line styles, I can create it. So there are many create nodes. If I want to create a shade parameter, if you want to create a family parameter, if you want to create a fill patterns. So if I want to create a Navisworks search set, so I'm having a lot. I'm having a lot. So you have to check each and every action, what it does by visiting, by going into every single package and understand it. So missing inputs, if you have gone through this checklist, there are missing inputs again. Missing inputs. What do you mean by missing inputs? Ensure all the inputs are corrected or not, connected or not. So there are only two, and the third one it's still in red. So you have to make it active. You have to make it active. How do you come to know whether it's active? When I disconnect this, when I connect this, now this is active and this is not active. So you have to make all these three inputs active, and you have to make this node active. Then it started executing and show you uh, the same as you expected. But what if you have connected the wrong data types? The wrong data types that's under reviewing node configuration. So you should understand the documentation part and review it and then connect it. Okay. So deprecated nodes, replace or updated deprecated nodes. What do you mean by replace? Generally, you have created a script today, and after 6 months, then the script isn't working. It doesn't mean the script won't work in future again. So there are some nodes which are changed, which have changed. For example, let me show you the same example of ChatGPT. So when I asked for the first time, so when I asked for the first time, so it has given this. It has given this. And then later on, I have changed this. I want to add an auto refresh feature to the above Python code because I don't want to add an auto refresh feature. So to write this code for me to take just uh 10 seconds. To ask this question, again, it will take like 10 seconds. So I just copied. I mean, the above Python script is not refreshing by itself. It's not auto refreshing by itself. Will you please add the refresh to get the instant run? So add auto refresh feature to the above Python code. So it has added auto refresh code, but still there is a problem on it. Then write a Python script to convert element ID into the element. Now that has converted and it has changed the code to the different again. So now I changed the code again. So this is another code. Then later act as a repeat Python expert. Can you write the Python code to convert the list of element IDs connected to the IN0? This time I have connected the inputs to it. So the way I'm keep on asking the questions, what if I ask all the questions at a time? At the same time, it will give you the exactly the same. Do you understand? So this is the way you have to know, like how do you ask, your assistant to get your task done. Simple. Okay. So this is the way alternative mode strategies. I want to get, if I connect a name, so I wanted to get the type name. I want to get the type information. For example, Control C. If a node isn't working, then you don't need to, ignore this. Select model element. Select model element. Just click on select, and then let me click on select here. Let's cable train, and let's put it in automatic. Now it's giving me some other information. So when I connect this, it's giving me the type name. So here I connected the element ID 893.692. It has given the type information of it. It's 643.892. So I've shared you this script, and if it isn't working, so you have to look into it very deeper. So why it isn't working? If it didn't work, try another node. Element.getType. This is different and this is different. They are from different packages. They are from different packages. Even you don't have this package. Try another one. Even that is also returning the same output. When I connect this to this, it's giving you this line. Okay. So yeah, okay, these are different again. So these are different again. Now, if I connect this to this, it's giving me the line information, get location. If the node isn't working, you don't need to struggle and you don't need to write it from a scratch. I mean, another script from the scratch. Just replace only the particular node. See, that's and this. It's the same. Got it? Okay. So element.getLocation, element.location curve, element space location curve. There is a difference. Dot location curve and space location curve. So if one node isn't working, you don't need to disappoint. So try with another one. Okay. So when I connect this to this, so I'll check where there is a curve. Even it will give you, yeah, same curves. Say it's giving you the same line information again. The same information again. It's the same output. Same output. Okay. So this is how it is. It's called alternative node finding. So this is an anatomy of a node, and it takes almost like the complete training. We cannot finish this concept in like 2 hours. It takes the full day. And the rest of the concept like node finding. So use search effectively. So there are 5 different strategies to find uh, a node. So I'm going to explain that 5 different strategies to search. So evaluate alternative nodes, the one what we have shown, what we have seen now. So packages. So don't install the wrong packages. If you install the wrong packages, see, do you have seen that like whenever executing the presentation script, it is showing me there is a warning. That's because of the wrong package. Today we had a meeting with a client, so he has shared some scripts. After that, it is happening. So I forgot to remove that packages. That's the reason. Now I don't want to do that in front of you to scare. Okay, so you may scare. Okay, so that's the reason. Don't install the wrong packages. Actually, the client requirement, the one which have sent the packages, they're working fine. But they act more smart and they install different packages. They act different packages. Now my script, which they have paid me, like it's not working. So I've told them like to checked in front of them. I've showed them. So there is a bug here. There is a bug here. Please remove it from your machine and then run it. Then it started working fine again. So don't install the packages with off knowledge. There is like 1 hour detailed explanation to install the packages. You must go through with it. Don't Google it. Don't YouTube it. You can't find that. So it's my entire research. It's my research on it, and uh, that took almost like days to research this. Okay. So I'm gonna just brief you like in 1 hour. Okay, identify deprecated nodes or outdated nodes. How do you come to know whether it is an outdated node? You have to be update yourself and you have to update your script every 3 months and every 6 months. If you're working for the same company, and if you have created some scripts, they may not work after 6 months. So you have to update it again. So you have to find out outdated notes. You have to, I mean, if you have created scripts on in the Jan first, you have to uh, open every single script in the June first, and then fix and then store it in the same place. So this is what it is. Okay. So compatibility. You have to check the compatibility with, because I have shared you this script. Like you have created a script in 2022, so you are opening in 2024. There are a lot of changes happened, versions. Okay, earlier it was like 1x, but now it is a 2x. So you can't open it. Like how you can't open a 2018 model in 2016. So how that's the same thing. It's the same thing like I mean Revit files I'm talking about. So the same thing even happens with the Dynamo as well. Compatibility. It's very important. So node behaviors, unexpected results. So what is this node behavior? I mean, like how you behave. For example, you're expected a hike this month and you didn't get that. The person who next sit to you, I mean, who next sits to you, who sits next to you, and he don't work. He always go for a smoke, and he took almost like 40, 50 breaks, like tea breaks every day. He got a hike he got an appreciation. Now so this is the way generally how it, okay. So unexpected results. The way you behave, you started acting even you'll also take a breaks. So this is okay. You'll also started smoking. So you will also go out for a time like okay. So the node behaves. If the node is expecting something and you haven't connected the same, it started behaving differently. It works. It really works. I'm not saying it won't work. It works, but differently. It won't allow you to save your Revit file as well. That's how it will be. Node state changes. What do you mean by node state? There are different states. I think I can open that and show you. Um, I would have uninstalled that packages. See one single action which differs of it. So that's the reason I don't install all those packages. I mean external packages. Okay. So node finding node states. Okay. So what is the node states here? So the first, if you have noticed it, the first one, which is having like three inputs and all three are in a red state. All three are in a red. Okay. So this is a one different state we called as an inactive. It's not active. I mean, it is not an active state. It is an inactive state. Okay. Inactive in the sense, let's say comma. Let's say coma. It is in coma now. You have to, medicate it. Like you have to provide some medicines to it. You have to give some inputs to it. Then it started working and then it will be active. So here I have connected what it is expecting, but still when I connect this to this, oh, I have to execute this. Then it will be turns to the orange color. The node behaviors. Let me copy all this. 3, Control N. Let me run now. See now it is an orange color. Why orange color here? Actually, you can see the difference in a bars. So on the left hand side bar or on the bottom bar. Okay. So that one is an orange color. What do you mean by orange color? Incorrect data type. So if it is expecting something, you have connected. It is expecting three inputs. You have connected all the three inputs. That's fine. But still, why it is warning? Because if you expect, I mean, if it is expecting, like, for example, your kids who are expecting, they are expecting like ice cream, and if you took a chocolate, then started acting weird. Okay, so that's what. If you they are expecting something, you have to bring the same only. Like, okay, so it is expecting a number, but I have connected a string to it. That is the reason which is working. See, what is it saying? Point out by coordinates, I mean, this node is expecting input types double, double, double. It is expecting double, 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 and double. You can see that the text double in the tooltip. It's saying the same thing in the warning, double, 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 but I have connected a string to it. String in the sense this. So double in the sense like a number. Let's say when I connect this number to this and it's a run, I can see a point here. I can see another point here. So now it started working perfect. No orange, nothing. Okay, so that is another state. So I haven't connected anything to this, but still this is active because it has a default values. If you see this, there is an the gray colored one. So you have a script, but if you feel you can't see anything, then maybe it is on a like a preview state. So there is a different state again. The transparent node, it's like a freezing. So if you have connect anything to it, it won't work. It will not work. There are a different states again. So there are different behaviors are there. Okay, different behaviors. What do you mean by behaviors? You have to be very clear while you're playing with the different set of nodes, and especially the action set of behaviors set. When I connect an element to this, if you are using this element or delete that, if you have connected elements to it, it will delete that. If you connect any parameters to it, it will remove the parameters. If you have connected any element to it, it will rotate that element to the given degrees. If you have connected an element and connect the type ID to it, it will change the family type. Oh my goodness. So when you create, when you are trying to, connect the curves list like an closed curves and the ceiling type and at which level and with the object, it will create the list. It will create the ceilings. So before you play with any set of elements, you should understand how it's going to be behave. It's a behaviors. They're like a node behaviors. Okay. So the node states, there are any error states are there or not, any frozen nodes. The last one, utilize node color coding. So try to understand, pay attention to the color coding on the nodes to quickly identify the issues. To identify the issue, you just have to understand the color coding. So how many colors are there? Many. I'm going to explain every single thing. Okay. So execution failures. Identify nodes that fail to execute, stopping the graph. Why? I mean, you have connected everything. You have taken the complete, the measurements to execute a script, but still this is not working. Then you have to identify nodes very detailed why and where it's stopping the graph to execute. Simple. Okay. So the dot notation, there is another concept called dot notation. Syntax is, what do you mean by dot notation? In the beginning, we've seen that uh, Revit dot element dot something. Let's say, let me show you something. If I want to play with, okay, if I want to play with um categories, categories, all elements of category, I'll say ducks. I'll connect this to this. Now I'm having like there are total 724 ducks. Now I'm asking that Revit dot, see dots now. See when I put a dot, it's giving me it's giving me, I mean, are you looking for anything? Are you looking for anything? So Revit dot elements dot element dot get parameter value by name, close, open and close the bracket. That is expecting an element. So I'm going to connect the ducks, comma parameter name. I want to connect the parameter name. Let's say length. Let's say length. So when I connect this to this, now it has got the length information. Now it has got the length information. See, there is a dot. There is another dot. There is another dot. Okay, many dots. After this, if I want to get, let's say if I want to get the parameters, okay, let me show you. Element dot dot parameters. Element dot parameters. So when I connect this, it's giving me the parameters. It's giving me the parameters list. Okay, let me open a zero box. I mean only for the first one. So element dot parameters dot name. Now I'm getting only the names. Previously I got the values as well. If I'm changing the name to the value, it's giving the values. Okay. So if I change the name, perfect. So equal to, double equal to, if there is anything like mark, do you have anything like mark in yours? False. No, 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 no. 34th is true. 34th value is a true, is it? Let me check. The 34th parameter, the 34th parameter is a mark. See, it's a mark value. Okay. So double equal to, let's say mark. Okay. Just it. Then I want you to get that value. I want to get the mark value. So let me write the same thing. Control C and get me the value. Get me the value and rest make it null. So for the 6034, it's giving me there is a value called, there is a value 3. And if I don't want to see the rest of all the null values, again I'm using like a dot notation. Dot list dot clean, open the bracket and come up, pause, close the bracket. Now I got C3. If I want to see the length of this, so I'll just say length, simple. Now it's a 3441. See the first one, it's a 3441, 9734, so and so. It's the same thing. See why I use the number of dots in it. It's called dot notation. And I will be teaching you more advanced than this. Okay, in this training, like we have a Dynamo concept and the design scripting and the geometry part. Dynamo, design scripting and geometry and the prompt engineering, like the ChatGPT. So there are four. I mean, for the previous batches, we don't have a prompt engineering. but we have added this batch. Okay. Sure, that is an additional benefit for you. Okay, to go with the prompt engineering things as well. I'll show you, like, I'll help you how do you exactly write the code. I mean, how do you exactly write the prompts and everything. Okay, so what is dot syntax errors? There will be many errors. I mean, what do you mean by syntax? Syntax is nothing but like open the bracket and close the square brackets. Open the bracket and close the C brackets. Okay, playing with the dots, playing with the green color text, playing with the blue color text, playing with the brown color text, and playing with the apostrophes, and playing with the question mark, and playing with the commas, and playing with the colon, playing with the semicolon. Every single ASCII character is a part of a syntax. So you should understand very clearly. What if by mistake if I had a additional comma warning? No, I forgot adding comma there. See, won't work. It won't work. So that you have to take care of everything. So if you're good in the syntax, you're ready to write a code, draft a code. Seriously. Okay. So even I'll be giving you different assignments, and you can use the ChatGPT help and finish your assignments. I don't ask you to sit and write your own. Understand? Because if you join a company, and if the company is even the automation also having some sort of targets, okay, so the targets can be finished in like 1 or 2 hours. So rest of the 6 hours you're going to play in your office hours. Do you understand? And for developers, you don't need to be present in the office. Nothing. Simply one application and a machine with the basic one. And now we are having like a different tools like Visual Studio Code. I mean, you can see the integrations for the developers. Like for example, I'll just new file, and it's a Python file. Okay, where are the extensions? Let me open out something. Join. Where is my extension go? Okay, missing. Okay, fine. So what it helps you, it will help you to write the code within the interface itself. Within the interface itself, it will allow you to write the code with with everything like what the ChatGPT have done, exactly the same thing. Okay, so that thing, and verify object properties, ensure properties accessed through dot notation exist. Will be coming to know this later. Method calls. So what are the methods and what it's exactly calling you? So ensure methods are called with the correct parameters and context or not. This is again a very important, is it? So methods. Okay, what do you mean by method? If I open the Dynamo script, the blue color text are all like methods. So method, and they have a different functions in it. So I mean method in the sense like a function, and they have written number of actions. To make that action happen, you have to understand the correct parameters and the context of it and connect the same thing. Okay. So null reference, very danger, very danger. So you have to cross check whether are there any null values left. If yes, you have to clear the null values and then let the things done. So the same thing what I have done here. Initially, it was if I don't remove this null, it was Now it used to give me the null values. So to clear the null values, I just want to see only the value. So I have to clear the null values. So cleared, and then I got the final result. Okay. So this is what, and the custom node, test custom nodes extensively. Why? What are the custom nodes in the sense? They looks like this, guys. They looks like this. They looks like this, custom nodes. They looks like this. The one which is having more layers next to next, more layer next to next, more layer next to next. One, two, three different layers. But this doesn't have. This is only having only one. But here again we have a three. One, three, three. Oh my goodness. Okay, so one. So the one you having like a three layers, they are called as a custom nodes. And custom nodes you can see the code behind that. And there are some problems sometimes. Okay, so you may not use the script after 3 months. You may not use, because if they keep on changing the code, or Autodesk has changed the standards, the scripts won't work. So you have to change it accordingly. You have to change the script again accordingly. Okay, so you should be good in that, playing with the custom nodes. Test custom node extensively, verify custom nodes work correctly in all expected scenarios. Internal logic, what do you mean by internal logic? Double click. Well, you double click on this, then you can see the code behind that. You can see the code behind that. Okay, so this is what exactly written here. Okay, so okay, when I connect the elements, that will convert that into the curves, and there is a Python script written to convert that curves into the multiple curves, whatever, and then connected the curves to it, and height 3200 and level at some other level. So we have to connect the level. If the user have to connect the height, if not, it will consider the default value is 3200, and the wall type. Okay, the user has to connect the wall type. Even the level also connected by the user. So when I close this, okay, it is asking to select the lines. Oh, is it? Okay. So wall type and the level. So when I connect exactly the same, why the height is having like a blue? Because it has a default value. It has a default value. See, it has a default value 3200. If the user didn't connect anything, it will consider the default value, and it will create a wall up to the 3000 height. Let me show you. I mean 3200 height. Let me show you that. Browser, project browser, floor plan, floor plan. Let's say DL. Let me connect. Let me select rectangle. Okay. I'll just select the lines. Select model elements, because I have to pick the multiple one, because I've connected 4 and selected the lines, convert that into the lines, and the height, which is already connected 3200 inside that, and the wall type. If I type wall types, I got one drop down, and I'll pick something STB30 or something. Okay, and if it is expecting like levels, and levels also have a drop down, you will be coming to know all this in a training program. And then it has executed and it has created 4 walls. Go and see. Yeah, I can see the walls. And select this, and the height is 3200, the default. And the wall type, it is STB 30.0, and it is placed on the level 1. See, all the inputs you have connected, they are implemented exactly. Even though I haven't connected height to it, it's still, if I want to change the height, I can change it. If you want me to change the height, I can change that. Forget about default value. I mean, if it is a number, I want to change it to the not 3200. It's a 4000. Simple. If I go and check, Now the wall height is like 4,000. See, simple. So you have to analyze the logic inside, logic, internal logic, the naming conventions are correct or not, the version compatibility is matching or not. So the document inputs and outputs and the behavior, whether they are working properly or not, inside the custom node, not externally, internally. Clear? So list management. So this is again very important as list management, list levels and structure, list levels and the structure of it. So what do you mean by list levels? Verify correct handling of nested list. What do you mean by lists? For example, I want to play with, I'm playing with 1 to 10. This is a list. This is a list. This is a list because you can see the word list over there. I'm having 4 different detail curves and under a list. I'm having 4 different walls in a list. So I'm having like 1 to 10 numbers in a list. So these are list. What do you mean by, but it will not be the same all the time. Okay, if I keep on adding the brackets now the list in another list. Oh, sometimes we may get the elements like list in a list in a list, list in a list in a list, and the final list having like elements. So you have to pull these elements out from the list in a list in a list. How? Hmm. Clear. So that's what list levels and the structure. So list levels in the sense, I mean, if you have seen, there is a arrow next to every input. So when I just click on that, I see use levels. This is a list, and I want to play with the levels accordingly. So I have to tell that very clearly. I'm getting a list of items in which is in the zero list. So I want you to pull only 4 to 8. Don't bring everything. Just pull only 4 to 8 elements and do some set of an actions. So I have to connect this to this and I have to say very clearly, use levels. Is it at L2? If I change this L3 or L4, what is this L1, L2, L3, L4? You can see 1, L1, L2, L3, L4. It's the same one. This is saying L4, L3, L2, L1. So you have to tell that very clearly. Take the elements from here, not from a different place. Okay. So that's what managing the empty list. If you have an empty list, if you have any null values, very, very important to follow that. Okay. You have to clear those empty list. You have to clear the null list. Then you start playing with it. List operations. There are many. If you simply type, if you simply type, you know, just a list, you'll have a number of actions. See, these all are the actions that you play with the lists. You play with the lists. Do you understand? There are many actions. If you set to do an R&D, at least it will take like 2 to 3 months for you to be good in the list management only, not with element management, nothing. Only with the list management, it will take like months. Utilize it because the companies are paying you to do an R&D. They are investing on your knowledge. You are gaining the knowledge and the company is paying you. No other companies do that. The company is having the special team, like the BIM automation team, like the KMA team, like automation team, like there are different teams. Like for WME there is WSP, there is ACOM, there is Atkins, and most of the companies like Bureau Hapol, L&T, they're having those automation teams to do, they don't hire any people. So we have sent many candidates to all this. I mean, I think you have seen the students list. Like we have tried happy students. The students like we have tried so far with the working, and few most of them are like managers, BIM production head, and there's a BIM engineer and a WSP and okay, M plus W. So there are many people have recently, and there are BIM managers. Okay. So we have trained most of the people because this tool is going to be mandated whether if you're a manager. I don't I don't tell you to sit and write the code. I don't tell you sit and write the code. Do you understand? So you will be coming to know like how long it will take to finish this task using automation. Then request your company to provide the trainings to your like the team members, and then let them learn, and they'll work for you, and you just share them the instructions. Enough. Understand? Okay. So what else? Where is this checklist? Yeah. So, data integrity, you'll be coming to know in this training part. Don't disturb the list. What happens if you disturb the list? You will get the inaccurate results. Okay, don't expect all the time you will get the 100% the right like output as you expected. No, if you disturb the list, it will disturb the result as well. Okay, according leasing strategies, very, very, very dangerous concept. So the dangerous concept is list levels. Understanding list levels and the structure, very tough. And the lacing part, verify appropriate lacing. Here, we can simply say this is a Wellenic concept in this entire training, but I made this very easy to understand because what happens. For example, you have like 1,000 elements to play, 1,000 elements to be executed with a given action, but it happens only with the 10 elements. But the rest of the 900 elements are not working. It's not giving such an action on those 990 elements. Why? Because of lacing. Okay, second scenario. If you have the same 1,000 elements and you want to play with only 100 elements, but it is leaving these 100 elements and playing with the 900 elements. Crazy, right? So that's because of the lacing again. Now, the third scenario, you have 1,000 elements to play action. Okay, run an action on those 1,000 elements. Oh no, only 100 elements, but it is mm, working with all the elements. Third scenario, it's working with all the elements. It's not able to filter that. That is again because of the lacing. So there are n number of scenarios which we fail. That's at the lacing strategy. Okay, so the lacing is again an important, and I've shown you that in anatomy of node. Okay, that's that. You have to test with the various data sizes, check for unintended replications. What do you mean by replication? In coding, we'll call it as a replication, but in Dynamo, they are calling it's like a lacing. Simple, both are same. Okay, cross product lacing on elements. Never ever play with cross product lacing on elements. It's like digging our own burial. Seriously, don't do that ever. Performance evaluation, you have to test how it's performing and everything. Okay, sorting and filter and grouping elements to play with to apply all these things, and rest it's common. Design scripting, it's not a pure code, but it is especially designed for the people who wants to step their career into the coding part. Design scripting is the best step to start with because it's very easy. Generally the easiest language is Python, but the design script is more easier than the Python. So I will teach you the design scripting, and then after you're good in the design scripting, and then you can step into the Python. Okay, so there are two different levels in a training program. The first one is like the Dynamo design scripting and geometry, and now it's a prompt engineering. 4 will be in a level 1. So in the level 2, Python, Revit Python, like Revit API with Python, and a introduction to the C sharp. It will be in a level 2. It's a different training program again. The first level 1 will take a month, and the second will take a month. Between the level 1 and level 2, you will be taking a break for at least a month or 2 months to get a good hands on the level 1, and then you can switch into the level 2. Do you understand? Okay. So this is what the entire checklist, like how do you exactly read? And I haven't covered most of the things because generally to explain this checklist, not enough. I mean, you must have uh, good experience in understanding all these terminologies. Okay, whether you understood or not, seriously. Okay, but this is the checklist you have to follow. And while you're playing with the checklist, there are some, the tips you must have to follow. There are like interface. So with the node anatomy, how do you exactly play with algorithms and execution types? You have to look into it and how many types are there. There are almost how many slides? 45 slides we have. Input types and the shortcuts. Oh, you have to be good in shortcuts. There are more. Okay. So you have to be good in every single thing. And we have many tips now, not all this. Okay. So let me see if there are any questions here. All from Saikat Ghosh. Price of this course. I'll text you, Saikat, if you text me on WhatsApp. I'll share it with you. Okay. So Francis. Okay. Most of the people left here. Okay. If anyone have any questions, you can ask me now. You have 12 years of experience in Revit. Hmm. Good. So anyone have any questions? Actually, we are developing a platform for this ChatGPT for Anand. Okay. Generally, you have to spend like 20,000 uh, per annum, but we have a platform. It's only for our students, and you are going to get it for very cheaper cost. Okay, and that is not like individual. That's like a group again. You can, I mean, anyone can see yours conversation, and you can see everyone's conversation. I mean, if you're asking like a chat GPT, can you get I would like to create a Excel with all the room names and room information and spaces information from the MEP model. So it will help you like generating something. So someone can utilize it because if they are bad in asking like the ChatGPT and get the results, they may use yours and you may use someone else. Okay. So daily it will be like a 2 hours Bakruddin. Okay. So 8:30 to 10:30 after your office hours. Okay. Not in the morning, in the evening in the Indian timings, 8:30 to 10:30. So the first 15 minutes and the last 15 minutes will be like a Q&A part, like question and answers. You can come and ask your and clear your doubts. Okay. And between the 1.5 hour, it's my time. It's my time. Okay. And the first and last 15 minutes, sometimes you keep on asking questions. I may not take the session as well because I want you to clear everything in your mind. Then we'll jump into the session, whether it's a 30 minutes or 1 hour, I'm fine with it. Okay. So is Rhino same as Dynamo? Actually, yes, but that's more easy, Sampath, Koteshwar. It's very simple. Okay. Compared to this Dynamo, um, uh, the Rhino Grasshopper is uh, very, very easy. But Grasshopper will help you to design the model. But here you can play with the projects. I mean, you can't implement, you cannot create a shades. There are no such an experience. I mean, in the Rhino, I think you can't automate it. It's only for creating like a 3D sculptures. Okay. But here you can create a 3D sculpture and you can play with the projects, you can play with anything. Okay. Cool. So, anyone have any questions? Anyone have any questions? You have a 10 minutes time. Clear your doubts. Clear your doubts. So we have, you know, like, but trust me one thing, it won't take more than like, uh, you know, 3 days to write your scripts confidently. Just give me 3 days. Just give me 3 days. Okay. I'll make you very confident in writing the code because I have to take the fear out from your mind. I want to take the fear. It's from your mind. So if I take that fear out from you, then like building the confidence. First 10%, 20%, 30%, 40% on every day. I'm gonna brief you a different concepts. Okay, there are 15 to 20 key concepts. Okay, and that 50 to 20 key concepts will help you to understand, to become expert in a very listing. Is it clear? So don't worry. Don't worry, I'm gonna teach everything. And this cheat sheet, like the BIM GPT cheat sheet, it's for the developers. Like the way, how do you ask exactly? So if you want to talk, if you are a manager, if you want to talk to a chat GPT as a manager, so you have to say that like there is another one, there is another one. I have it. It's not there. That's a role actually. Okay, this is the one. Act as a role like Dynamo developer, okay, or else BIM manager. So I need something. So you will provide the task in the process. You should explain the details. Please do not do. So now what we are exactly doing, act as a Dynamo developer. I need a solution for efficiently managing an MEP connections. So you will develop a Dynamo script. You will develop a Python script. You will develop a C# script that automates the connection of MEP components to the nearest network or piping systems or whatever. And in the process, you should ensure now the text which is saying which is negative, do not, please don't do all this stuff. So not to do exactly. Input the final result in the detailed tutorial format because you're trying to learn something. So the tutorial format, if it is like a professional, so like tutorial format, or else like it's let's say what are the other things like we have here. So tones. I have written some tones here. Professional tone, friendly tone, like skeptical tone, like critical tone, educational tone, humorous tone, motivational tone. Okay. So you will be asking exactly the same and then with annotated screenshots and a step-by-step guide. Simple. It will give you everything. Okay. So that's what. Ashish Kumar Senapati. Duck.get parameter value by name length gives error as null pointer. You can't directly use in your machine. You have to connect the ducks to it, and it should not be the capital D. It should be the small d, and then try. It works. Okay, clear. Well, Bakruddin, basically, I'm from electrical model by using Dynamo script. If there is any possibility to convert line to wire, sir. I think yes, we can convert a lines to wires. It's easy. We have some set of nodes. I mean, if you don't have, you can ask ChatGPT to convert a lines into the words very quickly. Let's say to wire, line to wire. If you don't have, you can ask ChatGPT to write a Python code and understand that. I mean, if you want to play with a Python, then you must have to wait till the level 2 because on the level 1 you cannot. Okay. If there is any something else, I mean, if you want to play with the Python in level 2 only, but if you want to play with the Dynamo scripting in detail without any fail, level 1. Clear? Okay. I would explain that. Don't know what else. Anyone have any questions? Okay. So the seats are about to like close. See, I've got already request. Yeah. Okay. The three people have already requested to enroll. So there are only few more. So if you want to join, let me know. Okay, so that I can share the complete details and let's meet you in a training again. Clear? Anyone have any questions? I'll be here till 10:30. Text me on WhatsApp, Sam. I will reply to that. Okay. Can we convert CAD 3D models into the Revit 3D elements using Dynamo? Yes, you can do that, Bayak. You can do that. Like first you have to import, let me show you. CAD.curve from CAD layers. So it is asking for an import instance. What I'll do here, I'll just load a CAD file, any CAD file. Okay, for our understanding. This requires a geometry knowledge. Okay, and we have that part as well. Let's say ductings. So just loaded one CAD file here. Okay, let me see that. Let me turn off that grid, and now I can select this. Select model element. Select model element, consonant, and now I have selected this element now. Now when I change this to the automatic and when I click on this run, okay, now you can see in the background there are some lines. So the same CAD file I got at, the same CAD file which I have linked, I got it here. Now what I supposed to do if I wanna go with Rajesh, I want to see only the duck. Let's say, let me turn off everything. Let me turn off everything. This is a CAD file. So query HVAC duct, M HVAC duct. Let's say copy this layer name, copy the layer name. That's not a block, it's a copy of the layer name. And here it is expecting like a layer name. It is expecting like a layer name. So when I connect a string and place that, and when I connect this to this, now I can see only those nuts. Is it clear? Now I can see the ducts. No, I can't see the equipment. I can't see the grids. I can't see anything else. So it will be, getting everything like now what I do exactly. So wherever there is a duct, I will write the continuation to convert uh, a line in a curve into the duct, a square into the duct like this. Simple with the given sizes, appropriate dimensions and everything. So it will be created instantly. So you don't need to struggle anything. Like if you're already having like a cat, so go with the cat. Simple. Clear? Well, anything else? So it can be used for family creation. Yes, but I don't suggest you create a families with the help of a Dynamo. Okay, better you go with the hands-on. If you are if you are creating an adaptive component families, adaptive families, then I do suggest you. If you're from an architectural background or structure background, if you're playing with adaptive components, then okay, so that's what. But I'm from electrical background, but I can automate architecture, structure. A structure, I'm having like 50-50% knowledge because structure is not that easy. Like when it comes to the reinforcements, it's not that easy. Okay, so that okay. So any other questions? That's over. So if you have any questions to be asked, you can. CAT to 3D elements. Yeah, better go with the manual. Okay, go with the manual. Okay. Anything else? Anyone? Anyone? Naveen, Nanaji, Mahindra, Karthik, Karan, Francesa, Devi, Dharmendra. Oh, you already joined. Bakruddin, Arshad, Anand, Ganesh. No questions? Fine. I hope you enjoyed this today's webinar, isn't it? Hmm? Okay, cool, good. Okay, so um, if you like this, I mean, I've tried a best, I tried my best like to teach you this almost like 60 hours concept into 2 hours. If you got confused anything, and don't take this as like very complicated to understand. It's very, very easy to learn. Okay, and trust me, and mark my words, just give me 3 days. I'm gonna make you expert for sure. Okay, clear? So see you in the training again. Bye bye. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your very valuable feedback. Thank you.